Hey friends, do you struggle to make decisions, especially big decisions? Having ADHD and other stuff can cause us to freeze when confronted with decisions, especially big life decisions. We get this thing called paralysis, especially the more self-aware we become. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 steps I used recently to make a life decision for myself. Hey friends, I'm Kat. Welcome back to Real Chat with Kat. If you're new here, Real Chat with Kat is where I get to talk about all things ADHD, mental health, trauma, and so much more. If you are interested in more mental health or ADHD content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Having ADHD can lead to decision paralysis, also sometimes called analysis paralysis. This happens ironically even more the more self-aware we become. Why is that? Well, the more aware we are of symptoms from our ADHD and how they impact our behavior, such as impulsivity or passion swapping, where we go all in on a hobby or passion and then 1, 3, or 6 months later completely drop it, the more we're aware of those types of symptoms and how they affect our behavior, the more aware we are when making big decisions that they might be playing a part. And so it can cause us to freeze because we are unsure of ourselves and unsure if we're making the best decision for ourselves. In addition to becoming more aware of our own symptoms and how they impact our behavior, we are also faced with a million decisions every day. And so many of us, whether we have ADHD or not, sometimes suffer from decision paralysis. Have you ever stood in the cereal aisle at the grocery store and been completely undecided what to get and overwhelmed? That's decision paralysis on a small level. So how do we navigate making decisions and not getting stuck in a paralysis while also making sure that we're making the best decision for us? Well, I recently made a big life decision and I used a 3-step process in order to do just that. So let me share it with you. I recently decided what I want to be when I grow up. Yes, at 47 years old, I'm 48 now, but at 47 years old, it finally occurred to me what I want to be, what I'm passionate about, and what I want to do. But as soon as I made that decision, which was I want to become an ADHD coach and life coach and help other people with situations similar to mine. But as soon as I made that decision, I began second guessing myself. Am I making this decision impulsively? Is this something that I'm going to be passionate about for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and then never think about again? Is this a smart decision for me? Am I capable of doing this? Is this a goal that I've thought through well enough? And so as you can see, this could lead me to get stuck in analysis paralysis. And that has happened to me before where I just get overwhelmed with the decisions and am unsure of myself, and so I make no decision at all. This time, I utilized some other strategies, and I think I'm on board fully with my decision and happy to be doing it. So what are those 3 steps? The very first step in my process was, and continues to be, to consider all the options. So I had the idea that I wanted to become an ADHD coach. And so I started researching it and what it took to become an ADHD coach, what that might look like in the future, how it helps people, how to pay for it, if I could get it funded somewhere, etc. And in doing so, I also had some people suggest other options. Would I do better becoming a social worker or an addiction counselor or several other things that were similar but not quite what I wanted? But I stopped to consider them and consider them with an open mind and ultimately talked them through to myself and made the decision that yes, I've considered all the options and ADHD coaching is the best one for me. Now, I'm still considering options such as which program to take, how to pay for it, things of that nature. But by considering all my options, I'm making sure that I address that first ADHD symptom of impulsivity. So checking all my options, not making any snap decisions, that was step number 1. The second step that I utilized was to utilize my support system. So in my case, I have two supportive partners. I have a therapist. I have a couple of close friends. Those are my support people. And so when I began having doubts, I simply talked through things with my support system, especially because I know that I have developed a support system of people who will be honest with me and challenge me and accept me. And so when I was trying to determine things like, am I capable? Is this something that I think I could really flourish with? I trusted my support team to know me well enough to help me ask the right questions of myself, to give me advice, to give me support, encouragement, and even to tell me if I was barking up the wrong tree, if that was in fact what I was doing. So step number 2 is definitely utilizing and leaning into my support system. I should mention that your support system doesn't have to be only the people that you love and trust. I consider my therapist part of my support team, but also in looking into how I was going to fund this or get it going, I've looked into other options, which have included things like finding a state program. So I have a worker now, and she has become part of my support system as well. So utilize whatever supports you can find. And if you can't find them, keep looking because there are many supports out there. And finally, my third step is really to just know and trust myself. Asking myself all the questions, pausing to think about and consider all my options, and then really doing inward reflection as far as, is this what I want? Am I capable? Is it going to excite me? Is it going to fulfill me? Things of that nature, and really listening to myself. And so, for example, one of the options when I was considering all my options that came up was doing social work. And I got very excited about that because I had never before considered that I could do that, that I could or was capable of going to school for that long and becoming a social worker. And so while I was thinking about this, I almost decided I wanted to go the social worker route, but I realized that I only wanted to do that because I could, because I finally realized that I could do it. And I believe I could. It would be more work, it would be more school, it would be more money, paid out, not necessarily paid in, because we all know therapists and social workers don't always make great money. But in the end, it was nice to be able to tell myself, yes, I could do that, but I don't really want to. And therefore, I don't really have to. I don't have to prove to myself that I can do it. I know I can do it, but that's not where my patience lies. And so I'm going to stick to my strengths and my downfalls and play to my good features and strengths and pursue this ADHD coaching opportunity that I really feel passionate about. Having ADHD and making big life decisions or even little decisions can be tough. That analysis paralysis or decision paralysis, like I said, it can get you even when it comes to buying cereal at the store or deciding what movie out of a million channels on cable to watch. So when it comes to the big decisions, I stick to that 3-step policy of checking into all my options, leaning into my support system, and at the end, ultimately, knowing and trusting myself. And if I can do it, you can do it. I hope that you are all having a great day. If you found value in this, please give it a thumbs up, follow, like, subscribe, etc. And I look forward to seeing you all next Thursday.